Okay, welcome back to the next tutorial and how to make your own, how to send a mail from Gmail. So let's start. I have a PPT here. So session. The first step is to make a session class. The session class is a primary class of the Gmail API. So we are going to use make a object of a session and then use the method get default instant and then add the property and the authenticator to a session. The next step is to make a message class. The message class looks somewhat like this. So we are going to make the my message and add session to a my message. Then we're going to add some recipient, the people you want to mail, and the recipient type and their email address. So the type, as we know, is to BCC and CC. There are three different types, so you can use this line repetitively and add as many as you want to. And the last one is to set a subject to our message. Then comes the authenticator class we added in a session as a parameter. So we can write an authentication class somewhat like this: property by property, and it is like password authentication with an object Autho with the two parameters, the email address and password. So then we're gonna add this to a get default instance, the property and the authenticator. So let's, and then after that we're gonna send the code. To send the code we need to make a transport class. So for transport classes normally used for SMTP protocols. So the simple way is to write transport.send the message. That's it. So this is a short example of making how to make your own, how to set the properties to our session. So this is the code for setting the property. So it says property. This is the actual code which we're gonna use in a Java. So it says property, new property with an object props. So in props we're gonna put mail.smtp host, the host name which is smtp.gmail.com. Then we're gonna add the socket factory port which is 465. Then we're gonna add mail smtp socket factory class which is javax.net.ssl socket factory. Then we're gonna add the authentication, the smtp auto, which is the smtp authentication for our mail to true, and the port for smtp port which will be 645 again. Then we're gonna add this whole property to our session. So we'll make a session with the object session, and we're gonna add, and we're gonna get default instance of a property, the props which we made here. And then we're gonna make a new authenticator into our default instance, get default instance. You can do it in this way or you can do it even in this way. The both way are just fine. You're going to get the same output. So I prefer this way, which returns my password authentication with the username and password. Then the second last step is to make a body, a message body. To make a message body, we have to first make an object of a message, then the mime message, and add the session to it. After adding the session, we're gonna set form. We're gonna set it a form, which is new internet address, and here there is a string for a username of a Gmail, which is user@gmail.com or something like that, which is your Gmail address or your company Gmail address. Then we're gonna add recipient. So as I told you, to add recipient there are three types of recipient type: 2CC and BCC. You can add this line, you can just rewrite this line multiple times and add as many as you want. Then we're gonna set a subject. Subject here is a string. Here you can set a subject here. Then comes the mime body part, which with the I have made a object of message body part. Then we're gonna set a body into it. The body here is again our text, basically a string. Then comes the multi part, and we're gonna add the body part into a multi part. Then after we have a multi part, we're gonna add the multi part, or basically set the content of the multi part to our message here, to our message here. And at the end we're gonna send it from this code, transport.send message from the transport class. And if you wanna add some basically you wanna add some uh, files, like the external files, you want to attach some files to your mail, then this is the code you need. For attaching the part, before you set content, message just set content, before you set your content in your multipart, you have to write this message body part, which is this, is equal to new body part, which is just an object. I've redefined it to get in touch. Then Java. So there are two ways of writing, of declaring a data source. I prefer this way because I don't feel that I'll just feel safe while writing this way. So it's java x dot activation dot data source. I have given it an object source, and then I've, I've added a string attach. This attach is the whole link of your file, the basically your path of your file with the name and extension. For example, c colon slash slash text, your text dot txt. This is the string in your attach. And then we're gonna add the source to a data handler. Then we're gonna add to the multi-body, the to the multi-part, and then we're gonna set a text. This set text is the name of our attached file, what name it is. For in my case it is my.text, for example. So I'm gonna add here my.text as a string. Then we have to set the content of a multi-body and just send from the transport. So this is all, and I'll just show you the whole program now. So let's get on with what I've done here. I've made some final string that is form password to subject and text, which is example password to the person I'm sending to, the subject which is test mail, and my text which is the body. So I've made the same property as I showed you in my PPT. The same property I'm using here. Properties, you can see. Then comes the session and the authenticator. Then comes our message and add recipient. I have three recipient, two BCC and CC, and some text extra BCC IDs here. So I'm not gonna add this because I don't feel like adding them right now. So then comes our multi-body part, the same way I showed you in our PPT, and I have commented this attachment code for now, and I'm just sending it and just replying send. So I have made a GUI application. I've already made one GUI app, so I show you the app. Here you go. This is the app. So it is the same code I've just done. Final from is my component name or component ID name, from to password, and the file path. So and I'm just hitting on mail, and in my mail I've written this code. So I'm gonna add a file which is this, and I'm gonna mail this. See, I'm refreshing my mail and there are no such mails available for now. So let's go, let's run this project. From I'm gonna send to me only my password, the file path. The file path is in my local E slash percentage 12. I've copied the link, paste, and hit on mail. So it's telling me authentication failed. Okay, so I'll just hit on mail. Yeah, here we go. I had my password incorrect here, so that is why it was telling me to correct your password. I just resetted my password. So here we go. Here's my mail with the attachment, and as I can show my attachment here, this is the same attachment with the name. So and the classes which I used to make this. So there are some Java classes, library classes. I will upload them in the description. So I'll just show you them. I'll just show them. So there is a mail API with DNS, IMAP, mail API, POP3 and SMTP. We are using SMTP, Mail, and IMAP. But I personally feel to import all these files, all these six files, all these files to my project. And my libraries have added all these files here and a PDF using iText, and I'll get to you tomorrow. So long.